It's that time of year again, and of course, it wasn't easy. Welcome all to the Anime America Anime Awards for the year 2021. Even though I was watching the 2021 season mostly on time, I still found myself questioning which ones I'd pick for the best and worst. The 2021 season had a plethora of sequels. Sequels. Did I mention sequels? But you know me, I like awarding the new shows that debuted that year so they can have their own chance to shine. I mean, let's face it, this was the year for Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Fruits Basket, Reincarnated as Slime, etc, etc. But that doesn't mean that the newer shows didn't have anything to show for. So let's honor these amazing shows that debuted in Japan from the year 2021 here today. But first, I had two lovely ladies assist me in judging these shows, and they like to say a few words before we get started. Take it away, Laura and Tiffany.
Yo, Anime America fans, Laura here, and it's finally that time of year again, where we go over the best and the worst that anime had to offer. Despite being a year of sequels, we also ended up getting a lot of fun, interesting, and surprisingly good new shows to look at too. So let's dive right in. And thanks once again to you, Robyn, for letting me be on the panel this year.
Hi guys, my name is Tiffany, but if you're on the Anime America Discord, most of you will know me as Little Kawaii T. I want to say a huge thank you to Robyn for letting me be a part of the Anime Awards for 2021. This was fantastic fun. So, what can I say about 2021? Well, in the way of anime, it definitely wasn't a boring year. We had sequels, some of which we probably didn't need, and fresh and exciting new shows, as well as some series that we can forget about now. And a whole bunch of characters that we've either fallen in love with or would like to forget about. So this is the Anime America Anime Awards for 2021. The good, the bad, the ugly, the very, very pretty, the horrifying, and the amazing. So I can't wait to see what you guys have picked for your number one anime of 2021. I'm super excited to know what you guys thought was the best of the best. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to say. Oh wait, so one of the winners on this list, I'm sorry. Who am I kidding? I'm not sorry. This is perfect trash and I love it. Can't wait to see everyone in 2022. Bye.
I'm gonna have to explain what that apology means later, right? Yeah, we're gonna get there when we get there. Two more things before we get started though. We actually had some new categories this year, but I'll surprise you with those as we move forward. And also, in order to avoid the ever so considerate copyright bots who totally understand what fair use means, note the sarcasm, I will not be able to play any songs that are featured from the best openings, best endings, and the 2021 best songs lineup. I can't stress this enough how much of a hassle it is to deal with this process, and I'd rather not have my videos hidden because Japan doesn't believe in reviews and fair use. I will, however, have links to each winner in the description box down below, just so you'll be able to watch and listen in full. With all of that said, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you all the best and worst anime of 2021, in our opinion. First up, we asked you all what you thought was the best anime of 2021, and we have your top 5 picks right here. Coming in at number 5, Ranking of Kings. At number 4, Horimiya. Number 3, Odd Taxi. And at number 2, Komi Can't Communicate. But the one anime a lot of you voted for as the best anime of 2021 is Jobless Reincarnation. Not bad, guys. Not a bad choice at all. Now as for the judges' awards, Laura's favorite anime of 2021 was Keimono Jihan. Tiffany's favorite anime of 2021 was 86. And my favorite anime of 2021 actually has to go to The Saint's Magic is Omnipotent. And with that, let's get to our categories. No no shocker to anyone, the one show that was written by the same author as Konosuba would get this title. Combatants Will Be Dispatched is just a blast to watch. A villainous duo are sent to another planet in order to develop a strong enough foothold for their leaders to eventually conquer. But they find themselves helping a kingdom desperate for heroes to fight against a demonic army. It's hilarious from beginning to end, so definitely check it out. As for the runner-up, we're giving it to The Vampire Dies in No Time. It may focus on one joke, but the characters sell that one joke. A hunter meets a vampire that keeps dying, and hilarity ensues. That's it, but what's not to love? Probably not the easiest category this year, but it at least had a few more contenders than last year. For this category, we're giving Best Fantasy to Tact Op Destiny. Mysterious creatures threaten humanity if they play music, so it's up to a battling music art and her conductor to try and save humanity and bring music back. It's a creative idea with top-notch action and adorable characters, so give it a shot. As for the runner-up, we're giving it to our favorite dragon baby, Dragon Goes House Hunting. A cowardly dragon is sent away from his home for being weak, but he finds a real estate elf to help him find a new home. It's precious, hilarious, and pretty random. If you were ever curious about this show, we'd say check it out. Are you confused with our selection since there may have been another series that was worthy of the title? Well, let's just roll out our first new category. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. 2021 was filled with not only sequels and remakes, but also isekais. Of course. We just felt like giving them their own category this year, and of course, we're giving this to Jobless Reincarnation. A socially awkward degenerate dies and gets reborn with his memories intact in another world. Instead of reverting back to his old habits though, he embraces this new chance at life while discovering his hidden potential with magic. It's a refreshing take on the isekai genre, showing that people can accomplish great feats if given the chance, so you should definitely check this one out. As for our runner-up, we're giving this to The Saint's Magic is Omnipotent. A working-class woman gets summoned to another world alongside a teenage girl. Only one of them is the true saint of their world, so naturally, the arrogant prince chooses the younger and prettier girl to be the one. Oof. After just being insulted and told that she can't really go home, Sei Takanashi decides to take an interest in the apothecary while proving her worth to herself and to others. This is definitely an interesting take on the isekai genre as it focuses on older women who feel pushed aside for not being as young and pretty. It was one of the few shows that made me want to drop everything to watch it all, so I definitely recommend this one. Terminator meets Idols. Need I say more? Yeah, we're giving this award to Vivi Fluorite's Ice Song. A robotic singing doll named Vivi is told by an AI unit from the future that all of humanity will be extinct in 100 years due to a global genocide caused by robots. You see why I call this Terminator Meets Idol show? This unit was sent back in time to find Vivi and ask her to help prevent the apocalypse from happening. This is without a doubt one of the more creative ideas to come out in a while, and it's carried out very well with Vivi as our lead. As for our runner-up, well, we're gonna have to give this to 86. It is more of a drama with its extreme story of prejudice and how the privileged elite can just live out their lives ignoring the fact that there are people dying for their war, but they technically don't count because they're not purebloods like them. So there's that. Again, it's a drama. But yeah, let's just say drama was not easy to choose from either. 86, however, falls under the sci-fi category as well, and the other sci-fi shows were just, meh. This was definitely not an easy decision, but we can't say enough how good 86 really was. It may just fall into the runner-up category for both sci-fi and drama, but it's still a damn good show. Speaking of best drama, what else can I say? The first episode of To Your Eternity stole my heart, and I fell in love. I cried. Laura and Tiffany cried. A lot of people I know cried, and it's all caused by some godlike entity tossing a sentient spirit to Earth to see what it can learn. As vague as it sounds, you're just watching this entity learn and grow from the journey they embark and from the people they meet. It's an emotional journey we didn't expect to find, and we cannot recommend it enough. As for the runner-up, we went with Heikei Monogatari. It may be a rushed version of this classic tale, but it's an artistic presentation of one of Japan's oldest tales. You're definitely in for a treat with its style, presentation, and story. Fruits Basket would win if it wasn't a sequel, but we're gonna get to this one in no time, don't you worry about that. As for a new show, why yes, Best Romance won by a landslide because of course it's Horimiya. You mean a story about a popular girl and a quiet boy actually getting to know who they really are while blossoming a wholesome relationship with each other would win Best Romance? Obviously, it's Horimiya! And seriously, this is not me making fun of the show. I am just over the moon happy to see a romance anime this good. Horimiya got a lot of hype and praise, and it deserves that hype and praise. Watch it. Just watch it. And our runner-up is going to Taisho Maiden Fairy Tale. Holy hell, I didn't expect this romance to be this cute and intense, but I love it. It is honestly one of my favorite anime of the year. I just adore the show to pieces. Watching Tamahiko coming to terms with his injury, finding new meaning in his life, and doing everything he can to care for the one person he truly loves is just heartwarming to watch. Definitely a wholesome romance that I personally recommend. The real winners of this category would go to Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, because of course it would. But again, I like giving new shows their own time to shine. Yes, I am that stubborn. So instead, we have another isekai that stole my attention. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat, and you gotta love Japan for these long titles. A soon-to-be retired assassin gets killed soon after his last mission, but is reborn immediately in another world to a prestigious family of assassins. I love it. This idea, along with having butt-kicking waifus, should sell you on this alone. Some are a bit mixed about the ending, but if you want to see some interesting fight scenes with magic and weaponry, this one will do the job nicely. Our runner-up will be going to Battle Game in 5 Seconds. It's a great mixture of action and intellect, as our characters are put into a battle royale scenario, but with experimental weapons. Even though I'm a little tired of battle royale shows, this one is actually interesting with its setup and challenges. If you want a battle royale show with an interesting concept, you might actually like this one. For Best Adventure in Yosho Kyorishi anime, we are giving it to Ranking of Kings. A shadowy figure bumps into a young prince who cannot speak or hear. He of course takes advantage of this boy's naivete, but he starts to see how optimistic yet lonely the prince really is. From there, an unlikely friendship and adventure starts between this questionable being and a young prince working hard to be a good king, despite the kingdom not really taking him seriously. It's a wholesome underdog story with delightful characters and animation, so it's a must-watch. And our runner-up goes to So I'm a Spider. So what? An entire classroom gets isekai'd to another world, but our girl Kumiko gets turned into a spider. Whoops. From here, we watch her learn how to survive while wondering what will happen if her classmates find her, but don't really recognize her at all. I mean, they're humans, they got weapons, she's a big scary spider. Need I say more? A very interesting take for an isekai, and a funny one for you to watch. Here we have the Chinese anime everyone raves about, Link Click. Lu and Chang have a special ability to go inside any photograph and look through the eyes of the photographer. Whenever clients need information or some mystery to solve, one of the boys would jump into the photo provided, enter the perspective of the photographer, and try to solve their clients' cases with what they can see. The only catch is that they can't alter too much of their surroundings or else risk changing the future. One of the more creative mysteries to come out in recent years, and I'm honestly impressed with it. Best mystery runner-up goes to Sunny Boy. A bunch of students find themselves trapped in their school that somehow found its way inside of a dark void, and some of them have powers. Random. You honestly keep watching to find out how the hell they got in there, how long they can last without going insane, and to see if they can even go home, or if this void will take them somewhere else. It's an interesting mystery show to say the least. Higurashi would win, but again, it's a remake, yada yada yada, you know my rules, yes I'm stubborn. But for this category, we are going to give it to Mieruko-chan. Miko is suddenly being visited by tormented and disgusting looking spirits, but instead of screaming in utter terror, she acts like she doesn't see them at all. How long can she keep up with this charade though? You'll have to watch to find out. As for our runner-up, we've chosen High Rise Invasion. A young girl named Yuri finds herself in an abandoned city with no signs and no way out. The only other inhabitants she meets along the way are masked individuals who are either trying to kill her or make her want to die. Can she escape from these tormentors and find a way out? Keep watching to find out. Yeah, no surprises here. Our winner for Best Supernatural goes to The Case Studies of Vanitas. Vampires are becoming corrupt, so it's up to an eccentric human doctor and his mysterious grimoire to help these vampires find their true name before it's too late. A brief description, I know, but it's really that simple and delightful to watch. The animation is stellar, the characters are colorful, and each case Vanitas encounters are pretty interesting. This is a fun supernatural show we'd recommend. Best Supernatural runner-up goes to Shadow's House. An interesting and emotional tale focusing on a family of shadow figures hiding in the mountains away from humans. When these shadows come of age, they are assigned a human doll to not only help them, but to also look like them. Or at the very least, reflect an image of what they would look like if they weren't born as shadows. Definitely a strange yet beautiful anime to watch. Out of all the other school life shows, this one seriously takes the cake. Komi Can't Communicate is about a young girl named Komi becoming the most popular girl in school because of her beauty, but she has crippling anxiety issues that prevent her from speaking normally to anyone. Her classmate Tadano wants to help her make friends, but he's at a disadvantage since their classmates want nothing to do with him. It's a funny yet wholesome show that stole my heart from the first episode. This is without a doubt a top contender of the year. Best School Life runner-up goes to Opera Girl. Talented girls from across Japan enlist in an academy that'll turn them into Koka theater stars. Our main girl, Ai, is a retired idol who wants to avoid men at all costs and uses the academy as the perfect excuse to practice her craft and attend a school for girls only. It's a delightful show full of diverse characters with their own goals and struggles, and it's another show I'd consider to be one of my favorites. Naturally, we have to give this award to Odd Taxi. The city is bustling with workers, partiers, busybodies, criminals, and corruption, but our dude Otokawa wants nothing to do with anything. He just wants to live his life as normally as possible and drive his taxi around to pay the bills. Well, when you watch this series, you'll see Otokawa getting everything except a normal life, and that's putting it lightly. You never really know what you're gonna get with this series, so I definitely recommend it. Our runner-up for Best Slice of Life goes to Remake Our Life. Kyoya Hashiba returns home from after losing his job and questions all of his life decisions that brought him to that point in life. Miraculously, he is sent 10 years back in time and given another chance to go to the art college he wanted to attend to in the first place. It's a nice story about second chances and following your dreams, but from the perspective of someone who's extremely grateful to have this second chance after realizing the mistake he made in the first place. It's a relatable story with amazing characters, so definitely check it out. Oh, what else are we gonna give it to? Skate Infinity is a refreshing sports anime full of colorful characters partaking in extreme skateboard races. That's all it really is, but it's honestly a fun experience that's worth the watch. Our runner-up goes to Remain. A talented water polo star gets into an accident and loses 3 years of his memories. While his friends were able to move forward with their careers, he feels left behind and questioning his future. It's another delightful sports anime with a really good story, but it gets runner-up because...
湊先輩退院したってあすみちゃんから聞いて探してたんですよ湊先輩湊先輩先輩一緒にやりましょうよじゃなきゃ僕何のためにこの学校来たか知らないよそんなこと
Hey, Taro is the reason why we can't have anything nice anymore. I honestly wanted to give this creative isekai some kind of award, but the more I watched it, the more I didn't realize it was getting this award. How a realist became the hero is just about a working class accountant being summoned to another world as a peace offering from one kingdom to another. But he comes up with the idea to save this kingdom by helping them with their finances, and no, I am not kidding. Didn't really see this one becoming a harem though, but the show never ceases to surprise me. Best harem runner-up goes to...
So, one of the winners on this list, I'm sorry. Who am I kidding? I'm not sorry. This is perfect trash and I love it.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna let Markiplier end this segment right here.
I will not be explaining anything. I will not take any questions. Goodbye.
Give me my vampire boys any day of the week and I am a happy girl. Visual Prison has pretty vampire boys singing their hearts out in a battle of the bands scenario, and I am here for it. The songs are great, the characters look remarkably goth, and the whole presentation brings back my angsty teenage phase I actually kind of miss. It's my unashamed guilty pleasure that I'm sure some of you will enjoy too. Our runner-up for Best Idol Show goes to Selection Project. Talented singers from across the country audition for a singing idol competition. Our main girl, Suzune, is a recovering patient who spent most of her life in a hospital dreaming of becoming an idol. This is her moment to shine, but her health may become a problem for her future. One of the more emotional idol shows I've seen, but I honestly can't recommend this enough. 2021 had a fair share of excellent opening sequences, but we honestly had to give this award to The World's Finest Assassin, and I'm just gonna keep this title short. The visuals, accompanied by an extremely catchy song that matches the overall theme and style to the show, just had to take this award. The animation and colors are stunning, and I seriously can't stop singing the opening theme song, Dark Seeks Light. I just wish I could play it for you guys. Best opening runner-up goes to Don't Toy With Me, Nagatoro. This chaotic song with this colorfully insane presentation is unforgettable. You basically know what you're about to experience just by watching this opening piece. Nagatoro is insane and chaotic, so is the opening. Definitely one of the hardest decisions here, but we decided to give this award to Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan. If you've ever worked at a job that felt like it was slowly draining your soul while simultaneously questioning every life decision that led you to this point, then you'll understand the vibe this ending gives you. Uramichi makes it clear how much he hates his job and his life, and this ending pulls off that feeling perfectly. Best ending runner-up goes to Ranking of Kings. It was either this or that adorable ending from Horimiya, but we can't get over how charming this ending piece really is. It captures the very essence of what this show is about, but presenting it seemed like pages out of a children's fairy tale book. I absolutely adore this ending to pieces. Well, this is gonna be uneventful, but you can thank Japan's relentless copyright bots for this. Again, links for our choices for best opening, ending, and songs will be in the description box down below. With that said, here's our choices for best songs. Laura's choice for best song goes to Paradise from Skate Infinity. Tiffany's choice for best song goes to Zangoku Shangri-La from Visual Prison. And my choice for best song goes to Dark Seeks Light from World's Finest Assassin. Bit of an odd choice here, but hear us out. The award for best friendship goes to Fushi and the boy, and even Fushi and March. An unknown entity is just randomly tossed into the world to gather information, but because of this boy and March, Fushi is able to learn, grow, think, feel, and experience the joys and sorrows of being human. This may be a brief summary, but I cannot spoil anything that happens. Trust us when we say the boy and March go above and beyond to care for Fushi and create such an unforgettable friendship for this immortal being. Our runner-up has to go to Boji and Kage from Ranking of Kings. An unlikely friendship is made between a shadowy figure and a sweet little prince. With Kage's encouragement, Boji is able to gather the courage to face his fears and insecurities in order to become a worthy king for his people. They're also adorable as heck, and you can't help but love these two. Komi! Komi, Komi, Komi. It's Komi, definitely Komi. Did I mention I love Komi? Komi Shoko from Komi Can't Communicate takes the award for sure. Despite her crippling anxieties, Komi pushes herself to try and make 100 friends and finally conquer her fears. She's a strong character anyone can relate to, and she grows cat ears on her head when she's happy and so cute. So what's not to love? Best female character runner-up goes to Sei Takanashi from The Saint's Magic is Omnipotent. Despite being taken from her home and pushed aside for someone younger and prettier than her, Sei decides to make use of her new life and take an interest in apothecary. She didn't really have to, but it's better than just sitting around and doing nothing. With her hard work and determination, she proves that she can be strong and special to everyone around her and even to herself. Not much for competition this year, since we all agreed that Rudius Greyrat from Jobless Reincarnation was the best boy of the year. To watch a hopeless adult turn his life around when given a second chance and actually push himself to be his very best is inspirational. Says a lot about one society when you know deep down anyone can achieve their dreams if given a chance. So it's nice to see a character like Rudius to show how great he can be since he was given this new life. Best male character runner-up goes to Hitohito Tadano from Komi Can't Communicate. Tadano just wanted an ordinary life in high school, but that idea went completely south when he accidentally sat next to the most popular girl in school. Despite being hated by everyone now, Tadano does his best to help Komi overcome her anxieties and find a way to listen to her when no one else would. Obviously, the real winner of this category is Demon Slayer because insert budget joke here. But as for a new show, we're giving this award to Heikei Monogatari. This classic and historical tale is brought to life with a realistic and mystical tone that matches the pure essence of Japan. This series is a one-of-a-kind experience with interesting designs, colors, and presentation that definitely needs more attention. Best animation runner-up goes to Wonder Egg Priority. It honestly feels like an injustice to not give Cloverworks any praise for their work. These designs are memorable, the colors are striking, and the imaginative visuals are a spectacle to say the least. If only they didn't fuck up the story. Yeah, I'm giving this award to one of few mobile app games to anime shows that actually worked. Obey Me. These devilish brothers with extremely different personalities entertain us all with whatever random task they're doing. No matter what they're doing, it's just funny to see these boys interact with each other. It's adorable and surprisingly good for what it is. Best anime short runner-up goes to Ai Tsushima. Randomly realistic looking cats do whatever they can to get more food from this elderly owner. That's it. But Tsushima's personality sells this show, and I ain't kidding.
Stop!
Well, we all knew this was the hardest category of the year since 2021 was defined by its sequels. The Time I Was Reincarnated as Slime was great. Demon Slayer was great. Attack on Frickin' Titan took everyone's breath away yet again. This was the hardest decision we ever had to make for the Anime America Anime Awards. But we're gonna give this award to the series we waited 20 years to see it finish. Fruits Basket final season dominated the spring lineup, it made everyone cry tears of joy, and diehard fans finally felt complete seeing this amazing finale finally animated after all of these years. Just saying, we were waiting for this, we wanted this, and we are grateful. Best sequel runner-up though? You know what, just pick one, they're all good. It was the year dominated by sequels. What do you want? The thing about this year is, even when you give a lot of praise to the incredible sequels we were given, they tend to overshadow the newer titles that deserve just as much attention. And while a good chunk of shows were able to break through and receive critical praise and attention, I wasn't really hearing much from The Saint's Magic is Omnipotent. It may be another isekai, but the setup is pretty interesting and original. I mean, how would you feel if you're an adult, summoned from your world, only to have some prince pick the other girl who was summoned just because she's younger and prettier, and the kingdom looks at you like, well, kinda stuck here, so, sorry. Like I said, oof! It's a nice isekai geared towards an older crowd that wants their own isekai to happen. So I say it's worth your time. As for the runner-up, we chose Taisho Maiden Fairy Tale. So many other romances like Fruits Basket, Horimiya, and The Duke of Death and His Maid got a lot of attention, and yet here was a perfectly adorable romance right here that instantly stole my heart. If you want to feel all warm and bubbly while watching an amazing romance blossom right before you, definitely check this one out. Did we just make up this category just to rag on this show again?
Yup!
Drugstore in Another World is the laziest approach to isekais I've ever seen, and that is saying a lot. This guy just runs a drugstore in a fantasy world, but the narrator chimes in by saying, oh yeah, he's from another world, so this is technically an isekai. No summons, no reincarnations, no nothing. Just the narrator telling us this is an isekai, when all it really is just a boring show with boring characters. Most boring runner-up goes to Ruby! I mean, Scarlet Nexus! I swear it wants to be Ruby, look at him. Probably one of the worst mobile app game-to-anime adaptations no one can even remember watching. It is so bland and uninteresting that even after watching the first episode twice, I still can't tell you anything about it. But hey, at least these two shows could possibly cure your insomnia.
Yarakai. こことかがいいっすか？カリカリカリカリ。カリカリカリカリカリ。
This anime wins by default. ASMR anime. Definitely the weirdest of 2021. The runner-up for weirdest anime goes to Mute King the Dancing Hero. You have a rollerblading Sentai fighter set in a city that's dripping in 80s and 90s aesthetics, and the villain is anime Steve Jobs. Need I say more? Oh look! It's our last brand new category. What could it be, you ask?
Who am I kidding? I'm not sorry. This is perfect trash and I love it.
And you already know who the winner is. Redo of Healer is just an unashamed dumpster fire sailing away in a flood with no fucks given at all. People got offended with this show when it's honestly something you should never take seriously. It's revenge porn, with horrible people doing horrible things to each other and demonstrating all of the incredibly horrible things Kayado can do just to get his vengeance. Top tier, hot trash indeed. As for our runner-up, it's honestly a tie between Fairy Ranmaru and World's End Harem. One has buff fairy boys trying to save the hearts of their targets with as little clothing as possible, and the other is just a hornier version of Y the Last Man. They're both utter garbage, take your pick, enjoy your poison. My heart is broken. Like many others, we expected this anime to be brilliant, and possibly the best of the year. What went wrong? Wonder Egg Priority was going to win. It had an original story focusing on vulnerable girls trying to save their friends from their dark fates, and the visual representation was just breathtaking and stunning. It was just brilliant. But then they had to add more things that shifted this perfect idea into a complete mess that pissed off so many people. It was no longer an emotional journey with relatable characters and themes. Once Frill was introduced, everything we knew and loved about this show fell into an unrecoverable down spiral. That's all I can say briefly for now, but I may have to review this show just to vent even more of my frustrations. Most disappointing runner-up has to go to Those Snow White Notes. Episode 1 made me believe this could have been an inspirational journey for Setsu to find his sound with his koto. But then they had to throw him into a school and turn it into a boring school life anime. Such a promising concept, wasted. Well, can't say we're surprised here, but Mamoru Hosoda knocked it right out of the park yet again. Belle is a spectacular film that needs to be witnessed by all. It's a modern and creative take on the classic story of Beauty and the Beast. For its visual splendor and relatable story, this is one film you have to see. Best anime movie runner-up goes to Worlds Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, I love this title. A very sweet slice of life film with two teenagers enjoying their summer together while helping an old man find an old record before his memory fades away. Also, Yuki has bunny teeth like me and I love her. And we're finally at the end with our picks for the worst and best anime. Our picks for the worst are honestly interesting to say the least, as we've never felt this many mixed feelings towards anything this bad before. These titles range from boredom, disappointment, heartbreaking, disgusted, and even shocked. What could the worst anime at 2021 be? Let's find out. First off, at number 5, we are giving it to Scarlet Nexus. If I ever needed proof over how done I am towards mobile app to anime adaptations, this would be my prime example. I have never seen a product this uninteresting, and it makes me question the original product itself. That is something you should never do. You need to make this anime so interesting that it makes me want to play the game. But no, I am so bored and done with the show that I'm not even gonna try the game. No, I did not expect another Death Note from Platinum End. Takashi Obata and Sugumi Oba can make whatever they want and not have it always compared to Death Note. That being said, I was just downright disappointed that this incredible setup just turned into a typical Battle Royale scenario, and very abruptly too. Like the angel just pops up and says, you can totally use your powers to fly anywhere you want, make someone fall in love with you, and even give your targets a quick and painless death. By the way, you're now in a battle to the death to become the new god of this world. Okay, great, bye! I honestly didn't want to keep watching after that ending, but one of our judges, Tiffany, kept reading the manga, and yeah, even when she gave this series the benefit of the doubt, the ending disappointed her. Such a promising start and concept, but it ultimately gave us nothing special. This hurts me a lot more than it hurts you. I dropped everything to watch Wonder Egg Priority and loved every second of it. I did raise an eyebrow when they dropped that line about female self-harm is more emotional based than male self-harm, but I brushed it off. Then we get to Frill. You know, how does it feel knowing that everything these victims go through, every voice they hear in their heads that is pushing them to the brim, and every girl we see lose to self-harm because of these voices, it was all generated by two dumb scientists getting bored and suddenly creating a teenage girl because they could, and she ends up ruining their lives while being the true source to these girls hurting themselves. My brain still needs to process everything I just said, and when the first season ended abruptly, we turned to the OVA special for some answers, and we got nothing. Flat out, nothing. This is also an original product, which means there is no other source material we can rely on for answers. This is it. This was all we got, and we are dumbfounded. Well, this shouldn't be a surprise to you all. X-Arms! Do I need to say anything else? I have no idea what the hell Crunchyroll was thinking, but holy hell, what even is this crap? Just... really? Really? You sloppily put together this show, took one look at it, and thought, that'll do. Like, what was Crunchyroll's excuse for this mess? Given as High Guardian Spice, another dumpster fire, was one thing, but this? And they couldn't even make the story interesting at all. Like, we all watched this and couldn't help but feel terrible for the show's original mangaka, Shinya Komi. Some even speculated that the show was so bad that it ruined the manga's reputation and pushed Komi into ending the series for good. I couldn't find any sources to link this statement to be true, but I honestly wouldn't doubt it at all. Crunchyroll Studios, you need to stop making garbage like this and High Guardian Spice, and just stay in your lane as a streaming service. And since Funimation is giving you their entire library, that should be pretty easy for you! And now you're probably wondering, what anime could possibly top this monstrosity as the worst of 2021? Well, here's the thing. What else can be said? Netflix's adaptation of The Black Samurai, Yasuke, is awful. Having a new adaptation to this historical tale is one thing. This is an important piece in world history that should be retold and be more well known. But for Netflix to just look at this anime and throw in everything to make it look cooler is just mind-boggling. I honestly don't know why we couldn't keep it simple and just stick to a story about Yasuke protecting an innocent girl and relying on his skills as a swordsman to protect her. But no, we had to throw in magic and mecha suits. Magic and mecha suits in the post-Oda Nobunaga period. Is Netflix on another plane of reality? That and the Netflix producers behind this mess decided to make an arrangement with MAPPA Studios to pay their animators less than average. I mean, these animators get paid low enough as it is and overwork themselves to the point where dying from exhaustion is a real threat in Japan. But I'm sure Netflix can live with that fact. For its clusterfuck presentation and story, and for Netflix to make MAPPA produce this show for less than average wage, we've decided unanimously, and without a doubt, that Yasuke is the worst anime of 2021. And for the first time ever, we're going to showcase a quick honorable mention reel for some of the best anime of 2021. Mostly because we felt bad that these didn't make our top 5, so here you go. Feel worse for 86. Like, it was one of the top contenders, but it just slightly missed the cut. Like, if this was a top 10, it'd probably be like at number 6. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready. Here are our top 5 choices for the best anime of 2021. It was so hard choosing between these two for number 5, but we have to admit, Vivi Fluoride's Ice Song just had a more interesting idea. A robotic doll is sent on a quest to save humanity from utter extinction and has 100 years to do it. A very interesting idea that is beautifully carried by our main girl, Vivi. This show does more with its idea than I could ever anticipate, while also pulling at my heartstrings with its brilliant characters. I love Vivi. I root for Vivi, I cry for Vivi, and I think you will too if you give this show a chance. As if I haven't praised this show enough, but give it up for Horimiya! The whole don't judge a book by its cover shtick has been told a million times by now, but this show takes that concept, modernizes it, and excels it with brilliant characters. Kyoko's just a typical popular girl at school. Do you even know her situation outside of school? Izumi is the quiet nerd. Psha, think again, guys. Beautiful friendships and relationships are born throughout this show while making it loud and clear to its audience that you will never know who anyone truly is just by judging them. Get to know people, and above all, just be kind to each other. Kindness is free, just saying. Horimiya is a brilliant story and romance, and it definitely deserves a spot here. High school is hard. Battling crippling anxiety is hard. Being bullied even though you did nothing wrong is hard. And all sorts of messed up. Komi Can't Communicate is mostly a comedy, but it's also a story that we can relate to. We feel for Komi and want to see her overcome her fears as Tadano does his best to try and help her. The comedy is solid, the characters are unforgettable, and the overall story is overwhelmingly sweet and wholesome. Komi Can't Communicate will make you laugh and smile, so for us, this is a show you can't skip. This is officially taking the best winter anime crown away from Wonder Egg Priority and taking the spot as the second best anime of 2021. Jobless Reincarnation is a wholesome isekai with a protagonist we can all understand and root for. Usually, isekais feature a lonely student getting transported to another world. This one stars a societal degenerate, one that society gave up on, which made him give up on himself. But in this world, he's given another chance to make something worthwhile with his life and is a astonished to see what he can really accomplish in this world. An amazing adventure springs to life with this colorful isekai full of remarkable characters, and I for one cannot recommend it enough. So, not only was Wonder Egg Priority a bombshell that disappointed me to no end, it became the one series that made me rethink my approach to my other series on this channel, First Episode Impressions. Even when I got to episode 10, I was convinced that this would still be one of the best anime of 2021, only to have the rest of the series take out our heart and squish it into a mushy pulp. I cannot stress how disappointed I am with this show. Whether I continue First Episode Impressions from here on out is up in the air at this point, since another anime like Wonder Egg Priority could show its ugly head yet again. But hey, I can at least say I was right about this one. To Your Eternity, the one show I declared was going to be Wonder Egg Priority's only competition, and it ended up stealing the entire year. The first episode left me speechless in the best way possible, but could the other episodes move me in a similar way? Oh, I kept pressing forward because this show was addictive. The concept of an immortal entity created as a blank slate to absorb all the knowledge it could gain on Earth turns into a beautiful journey, experiencing the joys, the sorrows, the beauties, and the anguishes of humanity. Every good and bad aspect of being human is brilliantly portrayed throughout this series, and it's all for Fushi to witness, to grow, to learn, to absorb, to feel, and to embrace. I laughed, I cried, and I kept watching over and over again. Even if 2021 was the year for sequels, I honestly believe this series tops them all. It's beautiful from beginning to end, and we cannot recommend this enough. I encourage you all to watch the best anime of 2021, To Your Eternity. Oh my god, this video is so long! Did we really need to add all those extra awards? Yes we did. So let's keep this ending brief. Do you agree with our choices? And which anime do you believe was the best or worst ones of 2021? Leave your answers in the comments down below. Before we end the video, I'd like to give a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. Your support and generosity has provided more for me than I could ever imagine, and I can't thank you all enough. I'd also like to thank everyone for watching this video. If you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe. You're also helping my channel thrive. So thank you for your support. Let's see what 2022 has in store for us. Hopefully we won't have another X-Arms or Yasuke, or even High Guardian Spice, but let's just wait and see. Thank you all so much for watching. More awesome videos will be on the way, so stay tuned to Anime America.